Civil wars in monarchies have been a recurrent feature of history, shaping the political and social landscapes of various nations. Historically, civil wars within monarchies often arose from disputes over succession, struggles between different factions or classes, and the push for reform or resistance against centralization of power. These internal conflicts have had profound consequences on the stability and development of states, influencing the trajectory of their political evolution and leaving lasting impacts on their societies. The origins of civil wars in monarchies can frequently be traced back to unclear or contested lines of succession. In monarchical systems, the legitimacy of rulers often depended on hereditary succession, which could become complicated by the premature death of a monarch, the lack of a direct heir, or rival claims from different family branches. For instance, the English Civil War in the 17th century was partly precipitated by religious and political tensions, but also by concerns over succession and governance issues under Charles I's rule. Key decisions made by ruling monarchs also played crucial roles in sparking civil wars. Decisions that marginalized powerful societal groups or disregarded existing power structures often led to rebellion. An illustrative case is the French Wars of Religion in the 16th century, where the policies implemented by successive French kings exacerbated existing religious divides, ultimately leading to a series of conflicts that embroiled not just nobles, but also wider segments of society. The political or diplomatic context surrounding these monarchies could also contribute to civil unrest. The interplay between domestic politics and foreign policies sometimes intensified internal divisions. In many European monarchies during the early modern period, alliances with foreign powers or involvement in broader continental conflicts could strain national resources and complicate internal political dynamics, contributing to conditions ripe for civil war. The consequences of civil wars within monarchies were often devastating. Beyond the immediate loss of life and destruction, these conflicts could lead to significant shifts in power structures. The outcome of England's Civil War led to a temporary abolition of monarchy and established a precedent for parliamentary sovereignty, although monarchy was later restored. Similarly, the Russian Civil War following the 1917 Bolshevik Revolution radically transformed Russia from a czarist autocracy into a communist state under Soviet control. In terms of long-term impact, civil wars in monarchies frequently resulted in changes to governance and reforms in political systems. The Magna Carta in England following King John's disputes with his barons can be seen as an early example. Although not immediately following a civil war, it was instigated by similar dynamics and laid foundational principles that would later influence constitutional developments during and after subsequent conflicts. Another long-term impact was on national identities and cohesion. Civil wars often forced questions about national direction to be addressed, sometimes violently, and in their aftermath, new forms of national consciousness could emerge. Spain's complex series of civil conflicts across centuries influenced its regional identities profoundly, affecting how regions like Catalonia viewed themselves relative to the central monarchy. Economic consequences also followed from these civil wars. Prolonged conflict drained national treasuries, disrupted trade routes, and deterred foreign investment. The economic repercussions could last for generations, altering economic trajectories significantly. Cultural impacts were equally significant, as ideological battles during civil wars often extended into areas like religion and culture. In Byzantium, iconoclastic disputes which bordered on civil conflict reflected deeper tensions about religious images, which had wide-ranging effects on Byzantine society and church politics. Moreover, these internal conflicts had international ramifications as well. Foreign powers frequently intervened in civil wars to support one side or another, either directly through military intervention or indirectly through funding and resources. This was notably evident during the 30 Years' War, which began as a struggle among German princes, but expanded into a wider European conflict due to external interventions. Civil wars within monarchies have thus historically been complex phenomena driven by multiple factors, ranging from personal ambitions and ideological clashes to broader socio-economic issues. These conflicts reshaped societies fundamentally at times when they altered traditional hierarchies or paved ways for new political ideas to take hold. In conclusion, civil wars in historical monarchies were not merely episodes of internal strife, but were events that reflected deeper societal tensions and unresolved issues within these states. They often prompted significant changes either through reform or revolution, depending upon their outcomes. Understanding these conflicts provides insights into how past societies dealt with challenges related to governance, authority, and social organization. Issues that shaped not only individual nations, but influenced broader historical trends across centuries.